It took me over 80 years of stumbling in the dark, making mistakes I can never fix, to realize the truth I'm about to tell you in just 10 minutes. Think about that trade. I paid for this wisdom with my life, with missed birthdays, with silent dinners, with an ego that kept me warm at night but woke up cold in the morning. You can get it for free right now if you are brave enough to listen. Do not click away, because the price of ignoring this video is exactly what I am paying today. A house full of expensive things and absolutely no one to share them with. My name is Thomas. I turned 85 yesterday. The silence in my kitchen was so loud I could hear the refrigerator humming from 3 rooms away. I sat there with a slice of store-bought cake. I was waiting for a phone that I knew deep down wasn't going to ring. I have 4 children. I have 9 grandchildren. They are all successful. They are all busy. But let me tell you the brutal truth. They aren't too busy. They just don't want to be here, and it's not their fault. It's mine. I spent decades building a perfect life while neglecting the only life that actually mattered. And now I am the king of an empty castle. I wasn't always this scared of the quiet. In fact, I used to brag about my independence. I wore it like a badge of honor. But that changed last Tuesday when I buried my friend Arthur. He was 82, stubborn as a mule, and just like me, he didn't want to be a burden to his family. He spent the last 10 years waiting for them to call, refusing to pick up the phone himself because of some twisted sense of pride. When he died in his armchair, nobody found him for 3 days. 3 days, sitting in front of a blank television screen. At his funeral, there were maybe 5 people. His daughter cried, but I could see the guilt in her eyes, not the grief of losing a father she knew, but the confusion of losing a stranger she barely remembered. That is when the first hard truth hit me, the one I'm giving you right now. Your dignity is a lie. We convince ourselves that by not calling, by not bothering our children, we are being noble. We are not. We are just being forgotten. You are sitting there right now telling yourself, if they wanted to talk to me, they would call. That is your ego talking, and let me tell you, it's your ego will not hold your hand when the ambulance comes. Arthur's pride kept him independent right up until the moment he died alone. Do not let that be your story. I remember weekends in 1975. The house shook, doors slamming, the television blaring cartoons, my wife shouting over the vacuum cleaner to be heard. I spent 30 years praying for just 5 minutes of peace. I used to hide in the garage, clutching a cold beer just to hear my own thoughts. I told myself, one day they will all move out, and I will finally rest. Well, be careful what you wish for. I got my wish. The house is perfectly clean now. The cushions on the couch haven't been moved in 6 months. And let me tell you, that silence I prayed for, it is the loudest noise in the world. It rings in your ears at 3 a.m. It screams at you that you are no longer needed. You think you want a spotless house. No, you don't. A spotless house is a museum, not a home. I would give every penny in my bank account just to hear a door slam one more time. To trip over a toy car in the hallway, because that noise wasn't stress. That noise was life. And now that it's gone, the quiet doesn't feel like peace. It feels like a waiting room for the end. If you are a parent right now yelling at your kids to be quiet, stop. Listen to that chaos, memorize it, because when it leaves, it never comes back. And the silence that replaces it is heavy enough to break your back. And then there was the poison pill called later. That word is the biggest liar in the English language. I swallowed it every single day. I'll take the trip later. I'll call my brother later. I'll play catch with the boy later. Right now, I have to finish this report. I treated my life like a movie I could pause. I thought my family would just freeze in place while I chased promotions and built my bank account. I thought they would be waiting for me when I finally decided to press play again. I was wrong. While I was pausing to secure our future, they were living in the present without me. My son stopped asking to play catch. My daughter stopped showing me her drawings because she knew the answer was always, "Not now, sweetheart." They didn't wait. They grew up. They learned to live around my absence. And now, I have all the time in the world. I have the money for the trip. But the people I wanted to take with me are gone. Worse, my brother died last year. My kids have their own later excuses now. I am the only one left in the theater, holding the remote control, trying to rewind a movie that ended 20 years ago. If you are saying later to someone you love today, stop. You are not buying time. You are killing it. I spent decades keeping score in relationships. I was a referee in my own life. I called him last week. He should call me this week. If they wanted to visit, they would make the effort. I thought this was fair. I thought it was about respect. It wasn't. It was about pride. It was about winning an argument nobody else even knew we were having. I counted every unanswered text message as a personal insult. I let weeks turn into months because it was their turn. And guess what? I won. I proved my point. I proved that I didn't need anyone, and now I have no one. My children didn't see a father waiting to be included. They saw a stubborn old man pushing them away. Keeping score is a game designed for losers. Because when you are lying in a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, do you think you will care about who called last? No. You will care about who is holding your hand. I let my ego write checks my heart couldn't cash. Swallow your pride. Pick up the phone. Be the loser who reaches out first, because the alternative is winning a trophy made of pure, uninterrupted loneliness. And finally, I realized the biggest lie of all, the legacy of things. I spent 40 years chasing promotions, working weekends, missing school plays, all to leave a good inheritance. I told myself I was doing it for them. I wasn't. I was doing it for my own fear of being average. I thought if I left them a big house and a fat bank account, they would remember me as a great man. But standing here at the end, looking at my will on the table, I realized they didn't want my money when I was dead. They wanted my time while I was alive. They wanted the fishing trips we never took. They wanted the bedtime stories I was too tired to read. A check can't hug you. A house can't tell you it's proud of you. I traded the only currency that matters, my presence, for paper that will be spent and forgotten in a year. Don't make that trade. So here's the hard truth I promised you 10 minutes ago. You cannot buy back yesterday, but you can save tomorrow. If you are sitting in a quiet room waiting for a sign, this is it. Pick up the phone, or right now. Do not wait for a reason. Do not wait for an apology. Swallow that pride that tastes like ash in your mouth and dial the number. Tell them you miss them. Tell them you love them. Break the silence before it breaks you. Don't let your story end in an empty chair like mine. Make the call. If this message woke you up, please like this video so it finds someone else sitting in silence who needs this warning today. Share this with the person you were thinking about. Don't let your pride win one more time. And subscribe if you're finally ready to stop counting the days and start making the days count.